Hello everyone and welcome to our first ever realistic tier, first ever race for this tier as well. Up ahead we got a full qualifying session. Apparently there's going to be some mixed conditions in the race, I believe it was. I'm joined today by Gogglesaw. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Nice to be here for a special occasion.
Yeah, we got 6 races for this tier, 6 races for another tier. Ahead of ourselves. It'll be spread out of 1 race per week for the next 6 weeks. Here at Canada for our first ever one. And we've got F1 driver coming to the line to start the first ever qualifying lap of these 3 sessions we got.
Using all of the runoff on the outside as he begins his lap. I'm assuming that might be more down to the car rather than the driver.
Yeah. With the realistic tier, you're going to see some of the better names that we know from, say, Tier 1, Tier 2. Possibly behind Tier 3 and 4 drivers. With the realistic cars, it's going to be a lot more difficult. You see F1 driver possibly top of Tier 1 easily. Possibly going to be way down in the back. He's not doing too bad, honestly. Let me enable all these.
I've been told.
You have to do that.
I've been told from his teammate Pluto that the Williams is an absolute dog to drive. So if he can pull out a brilliant performance today, that'll be more than what's expected of him. As he picks up a nice toe from Aaron Ocon, going towards the final chicane. Had to lift quite
well, I'd say. A little bit. The Williams is probably really good. Obviously going to be Tier 1 for now. I believe Rapid Winston will be next to the line. Oh, he's invalidated. He's still going to finish the lap. He might go for a second one on these tires.
He's still using his ERS, so I'm assuming. Oh, yeah, it's just started.
See, everyone it looks like is on the softs. We have Graham on the mediums right now, and Pluto also on the mediums. With the 3 qualifying sessions, you're gonna have to be a bit more careful with your tires as well. It's gonna be a lot of strategy. If you haven't practiced this, then you might not be used to it, and it might not go the best for you. Got Aaron Ocon now, coming to set his first lap.
I think a lot of the field is invalidated.
Yeah, Canada track limits are not the greatest. Aaron, I believe, kept his lap completely clean. He's now going to come across the line in the Red Bull. Not even going to beat out the Williams of F1 driver. So maybe that the skill will have more of an effect than the pace of the car. So far, it's looking like it, as Ty's actually goes only P3. A 9.8 is pretty good from what I've heard for a Williams as well. I believe everyone that's done laps in these Williams, best I've seen was like a 9.3, I think.
Yeah.
So 9.8 is a pretty solid lap for that.
Pluto only 4 tenths off the pace after a lap on mediums, just over 4 tenths. Not a bad first show of the deck.
On the mediums as well, so that's actually pretty good time from him.
Clearly wanting to find his feet before going all out with the softs later in the session.
Goggy, a little bit slow through the chicane, I think. I think he was just trying to be careful with the lap to get it. P4 he goes.
I think the drivers are not fully pushing yet, especially with times in the mid-10s. By the time we get to Q3, we expect to see the times in the very low 9s or possibly even some mid to high 108s. So still a long way to go yet on the pace front, but we will get there.
We might have Katori join as well, so we could see 19 drivers on the grid. I don't know if he'll be able to make it or not, but he will also be in a slower car for his pace, which won't help him. So,
yeah, it's not.
Driver's a driver, though, I guess. It's his choice.
It's not what you want, but if he's willing to accept that, he's willing to accept it.
I would rather... Oh, actually, Sam Steed goes to pole by about a 10th in the McLaren. I think I would say the McLarens and Renaults in this tier, or the McLaren, Ferrari, Renault mid-pace cars. Also, like the tier 2, 3 drivers. I would say they have probably some of the best chances in this. I don't know if you would agree with that or not.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with Renault having LSU Rundle, the current tier 3 champion. Bit odd to not see him in his usual McLaren, but he is one of the favourites for this side of the championship as he comes through the final 2 corners now. Dodges the wall of champions.
Lap.
Takes him to the
He's
top.
gonna go pole. There it is.
109.6.
So, yeah, definitely a clear favorite. Definitely a clear favorite. We've seen already some fast times from him in his practice. So, definitely gonna watch him today and in the future races for sure. We've got Atlantis on the back. No, sorry.
I think he's on an in lap. He's just finished.
Just out of turn 1, yeah. Oh, is he? Okay,
yeah,
my bad.
he's just set that.
Mediums though, P6. That's not bad. Pluto's gonna try and beat his medium lap on softs.
I think
See
he
how that
needs
goes
to
for him.
be
I
fair.
believe that's... Yeah, I would hope he does. Arthur's gonna try a lap in McLaren on the mediums. I believe he has wing damage. Yeah, he does. So he's probably gonna try and pull that into the pits then.
Graham matches his teammate's time almost. Well, just past it. On the mediums again.
Just ahead, yeah. So both the AlphaTauris going for medium strategy so far for qualifying 1. Feels so weird to say that.
Yeah, I understand.
V2 in the Haas setting a 10.4 puts him P10
Ooh,
for his first
I think
lap.
Atlantis was around. I don't know exactly what he's doing. Oh, I think he let people past, but he kind of parked it.
That is Graham, yeah. Yeah, I think he was just letting people past.
Tom finally joins us.
There we go. So I believe he'll be taking the Alfa Romeo. Unfortunately, not the best of cars that he may have wanted, but it's either that or the Haas, and I believe he would rather the Alfa.
I think Rapid Winston.
As I say that, there's V2, I believe he's just letting by. Yep, Rice Cracker's going by. His lap is invalidated though.
109.8 for the Mercedes of Rapid Winston puts him at 3rd for now in
Pretty
Q1.
good lap from that. Pretty good lap that is. So you're also going to have some of those Tier 1, Tier 2, maybe even some Tier 3 drivers that are going to be as strategical as possible and trying to like save tires just in case they need an extra pair for whatever reason. And you've got the Tier 4, maybe some Tier 3, maybe even a couple of Tier 2 that are just going to be burning out the tires thinking kind of like a normal qualifying session, but 3 times, let's say. So we'll see how that goes for them, see if strategizing of the Tier 1 drivers works out for them, or if it really doesn't do much for them.
I'm trying to figure out.
Tell if Milo's on a fast lap or not. I believe he's on an in lap. Hard to tell.
The next.
Hard to tell.
I'm trying to figure out who the next car
he's
to
on
the
a lap.
line is.
Yeah.
I think it's Reese Cracker.
He has not been able to set a lap yet. He's going to cross the line here. Only P12 in the Mercedes.
He's almost certainly going to have to
Right
go
now,
again.
that's enough. That's enough to get him through, but we'll see if that's going to stay. We're gonna have 4 people eliminated from this in the next just over 5 minutes, my bad. And yeah, this qualifying session's actually pretty close. This is gonna be a lot closer than I expected it to be, honestly.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of leeway for the times to pick themselves up.
We've got Charlie next to the line. He has not been able to set a lap yet. Oh, and he invalidates in the final chicane. I believe he has enough time to get to the pits if he cuts a bit, which is allowed, I'd say, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't mind, as long as it's safe, not in anyone's way, etc.
Graham peels
Trying
into
to
the
find
pit.
someone on a lap. Everyone's validated or out lap. Yeah, I believe Arthur might be on a lap here. Only person on the mediums is Graham now in P8, so solid lap from him. I believe he should be able to get through with that lap by itself, honestly. Let's see if that stays. Arthur now gonna come into the hairpin. See a little wobble out the exit of it. Not too bad though. Coming down the back straight, he's just got this final chicane to tackle. Takes it pretty well. Across the line. P10.
Those tyres are a
Compared
bit
to...
older.
Yeah, I believe he has already done a lap on these, yeah. Compared to Sam Steed, though, up in P2 in the same car. Is that amazing? Not really. Is it enough? Potentially. We'll see.
I believe the next person to complete a lap will be Pluto in the Williams. Going through Sector 3 now. I believe he's up on his time. Quite cautious through the final chicane, and ooh, only a small
I
improvement.
don't think he did improve. Okay, not enough for position though.
I think he must
Boy.
have had a issue somewhere around the beginning of.
Everyone is in the pits, or in out lap, or in lap. So you got nothing really to watch right now.
I don't think Pluto's going to have enough time to get in and back out again.
I don't think he will. Yeah. Is he going? Is he? Did you see him slow down at all or cut anything?
No.
He might be going for his second lap right now, which he might have.
Oh,
to.
he's turned his DRS down and his fuel. So
Okay.
I
I think that might be his qualifying over to see if that stands for him. You better hope it does.
in a car that needs every tenth, every millisecond of performance, you can't afford to overfuel it either. So I'm pretty certain that's it.
So we've got 3 drivers who have not been able to set a lap. I believe Tom isn't actually here yet. He just wanted to join so he would have the seat. But I think he'll be here by the race. Akim had something to do. And Charlie on an out lap gonna try and get himself out of the elimination zone, as well as V2 on an out lap.
I think Charlie's just been unlucky. I think he's had 2 goes at a time and he's invalidated both. So
He's gonna start this lap now. See if he can get this racing point out of the elimination zone. Rossi currently on the edge, also on an out lap. Ahead of him is Blue Goggy on a lap, and Rice Cracker also on a lap. Those 3 might have to improve at least something to get out of this elimination area.
Charlie in the racing point does a 19.6 first sector, which matches Rundle's best time, which I believe he's just improved.
Ooh.
I'll keep you updated.
So he's on for a good lap then.
Through the second sector, a 41.6
Oh, and Milo's retired.
overall. So he's about there. He's about on the pace of the front runners. I'd expect to see this lap easily in the top 5. permitted it stays
And we're
legal.
just about to finish the qualifying. Rossi was about to say he has to rush to the finish, but it's actually Pluto. I don't think he's gonna get there. Pluto tried to get another lap and isn't gonna be able to.
I think the times
You
might
better
be
hope that
different.
stays. Charlie does get to oh, that is true. The times could be different. Charlie up to P11 with that. Blue Goggy takes pole. Well,
He won.
He won, yeah. And that puts Rossi into the elimination zone as well as V2. Those two both on laps trying to improve.
Yeah, Goggy didn't finish. There's defo time for one more.
Okay. And we got V2 through the final sector. See if he can get himself out of elimination. P9. And he's out of that. So now we've got Rizecracker and Rossi. I believe they're both just about at the final chicane. Oh, Rizecracker's invalid.
Oh,
Rossi is valid.
not
So I
really
believe
won.
that's Rizecracker's qualifying over then.
Yeah, he's
Rossi
out.
just being careful through the final chicane. That's very smart, honestly. All he needs to do is get himself out.
He doesn't improve. It was a
Oh, he
17.
didn't improve. I believe that's it then. Rizecracker and wait.
I think
maybe
he might
gets
still
checkered
be
yet.
going.
Man, this timer's so off.
Very off.
Alright, so I guess they got final runs then, I guess. Cracker's actually on 6 lap softs.
No,
Just
I
realizing
think
that.
that's broken for you.
That's
Mine says
glitched?
fresh.
Okay. Alright. I might be...
I believe the next person will be Pluto to come to the line. Keeps it safe through the final corners. Doesn't tap the wall, what you want. And it's a 9.8, moves him up to 6th position.
D6. Both the Williams right next to each other. Good laps from both of them as well. Very well done in that car. Who else is on a lap, I believe?
Rossi will be the next
Just
one.
Rossi then.
That's
I
it.
think he's final one.
Rossi's
Yeah.
Rossi's the last.
Is he gonna be able to get himself out of
Ooh.
elimination, which would put ties in? That did not look like an
He went a
amazing
bit deep there.
chicane. Yeah, he didn't improve at all. And that'll be Rizecracker, TTM Rossi, Akin Boss, and Tom Katori out of Q1.
Clearly the performance of the team for Renault is not the issue. Maybe Rossi got unlucky, but for qualifying one, you have Blue Goggy in P1, Alessio Rundle close behind in second, with Sam Steed and Arthur setting identical times in the McLaren in P3 and 4. F1 driver and Pluto, the Williams double, next in 5th and 6th. Rapid Winston in 7th, with the two Irish, Aaron Ocon and Polo, got in 8th and 9th. 10th was V2, 11th was Joe C for Milo, 12th was Graham, 13th was his teammate Atlantis, 14th was Charlie, 15th was Ties, and obviously the 5 who went out: Rizecracker, Rossi, Tom Katori, and I missed the last person.
I believe it was Akin Boss.
Akinbos, that's it.
Yes. Akin Boss and Tom Katori did not set a lap. However, Rizecracker and Rossi were just not able to get out of the elimination area, and we're on to the second qualifying session we've got here. Let's see, we've got... You have to wonder how Rossi, or why, how Rossi and Cracker did not get through. Because you see Rundle, I think he was up in 2nd or 3rd, up in the
He
same
was
car,
second,
Renault.
yeah.
And Rapid Winston was also around mid-pace, and Cracker was just short of elimination. So now, you have to wonder who's going to be next.
I'm fully expecting all the cars, or at least most of them, to roll out on some fresh sets of mediums if they have them.
Most people are also running semi-wet setups or just dry setups, I believe, because we are going to see some rain later on. So that could also be affecting. Some of these cars. And let's see, we've got Rundle's gonna try and do a lap on mediums as well as Pluto.
I would expect to see a lot more cars out on mediums, but
yeah,
clearly they think it's not the best race tyre. That is if the start is dry.
Yeah.
We're unaware
Maybe,
of the
I
full
believe,
schedule.
Yeah, we were just told it's mixed conditions, so I'm wondering if then it's if it's dry at the
There's a
start
McLaren
and then
round.
it goes to rain.
I've just caught that in the background.
That is Arthur.
Arthur.
Wing damage on that car. Oh, I don't see any wing at all. Yeah, no
Yeah,
wing
it's
at all on that.
completely
He's
gone.
gonna have to pull that into the pits again. That's his second time he's lost his wing then. One in each qualifying session so far.
Not what you want at the start of a rather important session.
I'm trying to find who's the first person on the lap. I believe it's Atlantis.
Nope, he's invalid.
Yeah, I believe Atlantis is the first one. Oh, invalid. Okay,
It's
that
Graham.
should be Graham. Also just invalidated. Second I go on to him. My bad.
So it's Aaron Ockel.
Air knock on then after him. Not invalid yet. We'll see if he can keep it like that. Through the hairpin. Sam Steed said he will need an invite in a few, by the way. He has to resend his internet.
Okay.
So, Aaron... Oh, I must have missed it, my bad. Aaron, I would assume, invalidated the final chicane, then Rundle's gonna go fastest with a 9.6 on the medium tires.
Was that not the same time he set on softs in Q1?
I was about to say that. I think it is, yeah. Doggy now fastest, 9.3 on the softs. So if Rundle's matching his time on the mediums, then how fast can he really go? What are we gonna see from him?
I know from time trial pace that he has achieved, I think it's an 8.5. So 1.1 seconds quicker than his current time. Obviously the tyre difference isn't that much, but it'll be fun to see come Q3 how quick he can truly go in that Renault.
I'm also thinking we might see at least one of the Williams F1 driver here. He's up in P3 with a 9.9 on the softs. I think what the Williams may have wanted to done, unless they wanted to be out of top 10, they could have done what F1 driver looks like he's doing right now, going on the softs and just trying to get into Q3, and then maybe just seeing how if they can get any positions on the mediums in Q3, or I guess I don't know. Oh, someone's around, or I think it's just yellows for Atlantis going slow. Yeah. He might be trying to give Graham slipstream, actually.
Yeah, speaking of
Graham's
slipstream,
invalid.
Polo God got a very nice toe on V2 down the back straight, but only enough for a 110.4 by the time he reached the line.
It's interesting to see all these drivers that would normally be very far up at the top now all the way in the back struggling, honestly. Like Polo you'd normally see up probably like 3rd or 4th in this group of people. Now down in 9th out of 9 to hit a lap so far. We've got Arthur now. I believe he's on a lap. He's in the... He's out of turn 2. Or... Yeah, turn 2. 3 and 4. Making it pretty nice so far. Good exit out of there.
Run up to invalidate on the left side, keeps it clean.
Very good. I know he was struggling on that turn earlier with invalidations as well.
Around the hairpin, could have kept it a bit tighter, but still a very good line indeed.
Terrible.
DRS wide open down the back straight. Under the
Got
third
the final
bridge.
chicane.
Keeps it legal.
Keeps it clean.
Avoids the wall.
Very clean line through there. This could be a good time, I think. P4. Got Pluto now in the Williams as well, trying to make his first lap. Do the hairpin. Now onto the back straight. See the DRS flap open.
Pluto will be the next person at the line on softs. And it is a
And where's he gonna go?
10.2.
9.
He's not that far off F1 driver's teammate, but compared to the rest of the field, he's probably going to need a bit of an improvement.
This is honestly a very tight gap. We see from P1 to P9, it's 0.899 of a gap. And then not even 1/10 over the second for P11. So this is actually a very close group right now. We'll see how much that changes or if it'll stay the same. I got Joseph starting his lap on the softs in the Ferrari. Only P10 he was able to get right now. Very tight to the wall there. Good line. And Ronald goes even faster.
Yeah, his original lap was on.
Yeah, he did
mediums.
put on the softs. He did put on the softs. So yes, he does have a 9.3 now. Just barely faster than Gagi, though. Milo, good tight line around the hairpin. There's a caution flag for ties. I believe he was just trying to get a cautious line through the chicane to start his lap. And Milo will come across the line. Improves up to P9 at 10.1. Everyone is on the softs though, so I thought we would see more mediums here, but I guess everyone's doing that in Q3 then.
Clearly as well.
Unless, ooh, wait.
Ooh.
Maybe the rain was in Q3, so maybe everyone's just using their softs and then they're gonna use the wet tires or inter tires for the Q3. We really don't know when this rain's coming.
There's still a very, very close gap from, I'd say, Atlantis in 7th to Pluto in 11th, where... I say that as Atlantis
improved. I think it
improves.
was Aaron. Yeah, that was Aaron. Went up to 6th, and I think Atlantis did improve, yes, up to P4.
But there's still a very close gap that if Charlie, Sam Steele, and maybe V2 get themselves into, we could see someone like F1 driver maybe still be pushed out to some extent.
Yeah, but
Just that close.
the pole difference is 4 thousandths of a second. And then from P1 down to P11 is under a second.
I believe
is
Milo just missed the pit lane
very
with
close.
Joseph. Oh, it's now raining.
Oh. Oh, there's the rain. Okay, alright. Alright. Ronald said, it's wet to start, so no benefit on qualifying on the mediums. Okay, thank you. That clears up a lot. So yeah, that's why everyone was using their softs now then, because if the start's gonna be wet, then you just get the wets or inters, whatever, however wet it's gonna be.
Hopefully it's
And,
absolutely soaked.
yeah. We did want to see some rain as well, to see how the different performance cars will handle the rain. So, lucky us, we got that pretty quick. I'm
If-
wondering
If it is
if this
heavy,
rain's gonna start affecting laps now or later.
I think it might be affecting laps now. I don't think anyone is
Polo
properly
is invalid.
gaining time.
Ties is invalid. Pluto here on the Williams, he's on a lap.
Yeah, I don't think he's gained.
Invalid.
I've seen his sector times compared to the rest. It's
Yeah.
a couple of seconds off. Choosing to complete it. Ooh, bashes the wall.
Ooh. Yeah, he tried to rush through that to try and... I think because he was probably down on his time from the rain,
Got
so
to
he's
be a
trying to
yellow
rush
from
through it,
wind.
try and gain as much as he want. Yeah. As you can see, there's pretty much no one on track. Those who are on track are coming into the pits now. I think people are just gonna... I think this might be it, honestly. This order might not change at all anymore.
Yeah, obviously Sam Steed and V2 didn't get time to get decent
Oh,
laps
okay.
in.
Graham's actually put on the enters. He might try and go out.
He might
Maybe
be doing
just
this
try and
to
get used to
gauge.
some wet weather.
Yeah, probably just to gauge for Q3.
I don't know if many people actually practice the wet weather, so, or at least not enough. So, yep, Rundle and Graham both putting on the inters. They're gonna try and...
See, this
I
could
don't
be
know.
wise in one respect, that they
Try
want to
something.
test out the wet weather and understand their car's better in the rain, but on the other hand, they're one crash away
Oh,
from
V2.
not taking part in Q3.
Oh my. V2 was never able to set a lap. He went to the softs, and he was trying to rush it through the final chicane, and his tires just... He just slid straight, pretty much. He's still gonna finish out the lap, just get a time.
I think he was at the danger of being disqualified, or maybe just like one extra
A minute
place over Sam
37.
Steed. A lap is a lap.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. He tried his hardest. But I believe no one should be able to improve these times. I believe they're just going out to try and get a little used to it. The rain, yeah, rain's definitely coming down a lot harder now. It's probably now time for inters, or at least just about, for sure.
This is going to completely change up the fight for pole.
Right now we've seen one Williams driver in top 7. I don't believe that should change. If it does, then wow, amazing. V2 could improve his time, of course, on the inters. Will it be enough? I would assume not, but hey, who knows? Yeah, we've got a lot of people just retiring. It's pretty much...
I think it's pretty
No
much a
improvement's gonna
certainty that
happen.
this bottom 5 will remain as is.
Yeah.
As V spins into the wall.
Okay, Rundle only did an outlap and he's just going to put it into the pits. Probably going to retire. And if you don't mind, I will be right back. Give me like 2 minutes or something.
Okay. Graham now still carrying on his lap. Getting used to the intermediates. The only other drivers out on track are V2, who's just driving around on softs and validated, and Arthur, who's gone out on inters. Not long now until the flag is waved on this session. But one thing that is for certain is the bottom 5. So eliminated from this session will be HDV Ties, iPluto 74i, EXFL Charlie, and V2X Combat, along with Sam Steed, who did not set a lap time during Q2. Graham now pits. So if Arthur wants to hurry up, we can end this session. Move on to the pole shootout. Sorry, and V2.
apologies for that. Alright, so yeah, as expected, no times improved. Bottom 5 going to be out as V2 comes across the line to finish Q2.
A wet pole shootout. That's what we want to see.
This is going to be interesting for sure. We do have a Williams up in Q3 as well. We have F1 driver, got P7 here. Eliminated, unfortunately, is Ty's, Pluto, Charlie, V2, and Sam Steed. Rundle was able to take pole. Goggy with a very close second. Graham and Atlantis, the two AlphaTauris, right behind them. 3rd and 4th. Arthur 5th. Aaron with 6th. F1 driver in the Williams managed to get into Q3 with a P7. Rapid Winston behind him in P8 in the Mercedes. And then we've got Joseph in the Ferrari P9. Polo God Alfa Romeo P10. Those 10 will now be fighting for the pole in the wet. Reports from F1 driver in Pluto. The rain is horrible in the Williams. Can't say that's surprising.
I'd probably say
everyone's gonna go for the inters.
I'd say that's probably the most polite way of describing the Williams in these conditions.
Yeah. So everyone going to go on to the inters. Does look about interweather if you ask me. Alright, so Q3. The top 10 we have Aaron Ocon, Joseph, Blue Goggy, Rapid Winston, F1 driver, Graham, Polo God, Atlantis, Rundle, and Arthur. Those 10 now gonna fight for pole here in the wet. I believe there was 9 different constructor teams in this top 10 as well, by the way. The only one to have more than one would be the AlphaTauri, Graham, and Atlantis.
Double reserve pairing, I believe.
Yeah. And then, what's the constructor missing? The Haas. They only had one driver, so V2 was not able to set a lap until the very end when the rain hit. Unfortunate for him.
Polo God will be the first to start.
First to start a lap here in the interweather. As we had a Renault off, that's Rundle. I don't believe he crashed or anything. Don't see any damage. Another yellow, people slowing down to create gaps.
Entire field very close together.
That looks like Milo didn't leave much room to himself and Graham. I know they're pretty good friends. They might actually be in a party together. Graham might be trying to give him slipstream. It looks like Graham's just drifting these corners right now. Oh,
that's a front wing.
There's this wing going, yeah.
Right hand side of the front wing of the AlphaTauri at least is gone.
Yeah, pretty much. The left side looks good. Right side barely there at all.
Graham's just got to nurse that car back home to the pits now to get a new front wing and to go out again and have another crack at this Q3 session. As Polo got.
As Polo now back straight. Now the chicane. Gonna be nice and careful in the wet. I actually don't know how you want to take it. That looked pretty good until the exit, but I think that just happens in the rain. 21.2 as our first lap of the session. Next we got Blue Goggy, slide across as well. Gonna come across in the racing point for a P2, 22.2. Next is Arthur. He's gonna go P2. Then we have F1 in the Williams. He's gonna go P3 with a 21.5. Next, Rapid Winston, P5. I believe that was Milo that crossed next, 22.6. Aaron invalidated, I suppose, because he didn't get a lap time put up. Rundle also invalid.
Not the start.
Oh, it was Atlantis that I was missing. He also invalidated, and Graham, obviously, the wing didn't help. But he might still be able to get 2 runs in 7 minutes. I think it's maybe possible.
Yellows.
Yellows for...
Arthur at the hairpin, I believe. He's up and going now, though.
I believe. Alright, he must have been... Oh, there's already a huge gap. I think Goggy was actually letting him by. I believe Goggy was ahead of him. They're gonna go for second laps now on the tires. Polo also. I heard a little contact with the wall. I don't know if it was enough for damage. Doesn't look like it. Goggy's gonna bring it into the pits. I believe Rapid Winston also bringing it in the pits. Milo's gonna go for another. And Aaron's gonna go for another. And Rundle will...
Box. I'm expecting everyone to pit now. They should all have another set of intermediate tyres to use.
Polo did invalidate this. Arthur also invalidated. F1 invalid. Doggy put it in the pits. So did Rapid Winston. Milo's not invalid yet. We'll see if he's going to finish out this lap, if it's any better, or if not, I would just pull it into the pits then. A little wobble there. Rundle's actually putting on the wets.
Ooh.
Does that mean it's gotten heavier? Or
I'd assume so. It doesn't
is he
look...
just gonna try something different? It doesn't look like it's changed, but it did look kind of between inters and wets. Maybe it does look a bit harder, actually. Hard to tell. Rundle was unable to send an interlap, though, so we're gonna see if he can do anything on these wet tires. Sorry, Sam Cole. Joseph, not Milo. My bad.
Joseph or Milo, whatever you know, Maz.
I don't think Atlantis ever boxed to change tires, actually, so
No,
he's
he
actually
didn't.
just on another lap. He's not used any ERS, though. He's got 100% here.
Polo got also opting for the wets, I believe, for his next run.
Arthur and F1 to follow, as well as Rapid Winston and Joseph. So yeah, I suppose it is wet weather now. Atlantis is just gonna bail out on this lap. Gonna check on some wets too, I would think.
Yeah, the track does look a lot worse than what it did at the start of this
yeah.
session.
As of right now, Polo got it in the Alfa Romeo, sitting on pole. Arthur following in second. He's already broken his wing twice, though. So if he can just keep it out of the wall in the race, he's looking like he can do something for sure. F1 driver in P3 right now on the Williams, right now, Rundle wasn't unable to set a lap. He showed very good pace in the dry, though, in Q1 and Q2. He's now going to start a lap on the wets, see if he can get a good lap on the board and qualify up high.
I believe Rundle will be the first driver to set a lap on these
On the wets,
wet
yeah.
tyres. The only downside to this is I don't see much of an improvement compared to what the times were on Inters, which is very unlucky for Rundle, who was originally certainly my pick to be on pole,
Oh yeah, easily.
and
I think he
especially
got
with the fight he had.
Q3 or Q1, and got first in Q2. Now struggling to get a lap in the rain. I'm wondering if it's just he hasn't done much rain practice, or if it's honestly just the performance from the car that just doesn't like the rain. So we have a caution. Cleared up pretty quickly. I don't know if much happened. I believe it was Rapid Winston though. Caused it. Rundle across the line.
Oh no!
He's gonna go P4, 22.1.
So the
Alright,
pace
that's
is
not
still
bad
there.
though. You can definitely improve on the wets, for sure. It's possible. I want to check if Rapid Winston got any damage, because I believe he caused a yellow. It's hard to tell, but I don't believe he does. No, he definitely doesn't. That's good for him. Next across the line on the wet tires will be F1 driver in the Williams. Let's see if he can improve it all, get his Williams up in P2 or even P1. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, he's not going to improve on that. Next we got Aaron's gonna start a lap now, actually. Then I believe Atlanta's starting a lap. Rapid Winston, no improvement. Arthur, also no improvement. So, looks like the wets aren't gonna be very good for an improvement. Rundle didn't have a lap to beat, so maybe this is just... Maybe this just shows his pace on the wet tires. If he was on the inters, I wonder where he could have gone then.
Graham's still the only driver not to set a time in this Q3 session. He's out on wets. Simultaneous with the rest. Skoggy retires.
So Gagi and Polo both retiring. Locked in P1 and P5 right now.
I believe they were both in the pit lane as well.
Yes, I believe so. What I'm noticing is a mix between the Tier 1 and Tier 3 drivers at the top right now, actually.
Yeah. Which is what
That's
we
something
wanted to
I'm
see.
noticing. Yeah, so that shows that the Tier 1 drivers do have the pace to keep up at least a little bit, at least just a tiny bit.
I think...
And the Tier 3 drivers can use their performance, the car performance advantage a bit. Graham's going to go P4 on the wets. Very good lap from him, just beating out Rundle.
Who's up on his time and still going.
F1 down at 10th. He just had a little bit of oversteer.
Goes back to 4th with a 21.5.
Takes it back.
Yeah, I
don't
think...
believe F1's improving on this lap at all. Oh, yeah. He's fighting the car a lot here.
I think
Doesn't look like he's
the Tier 1
that.
drivers... Ooh, massive crash for Arthur. I think the Tier 1 drivers have the experience, and not to discredit any Tier 3 drivers, but they have that little bit of a skill gap where they can understand the cars quicker in the rain compared to those in Tier 3.
Yeah.
But anyway, it should make for an exciting race, this order. As now we just wait for them all to return.
I believe Aaron's the only one that's actually has a lap going. He's not going to improve. Oh, wow. I just realized how close it was between him and Milo.
1 millisecond.
1/1000th. Yeah.
And we're waiting on Atlantis now.
Yeah, he's not on a lap. He's just bringing it back to the pits. So I believe this is our final order then. We got Polo God in the Alfa Romeo taking P1 with a 21.2. Arthur in P2 in the McLaren. F1 driver managed to bring his Williams up to P3. So either he's got very good pace in the wet, or he's just got the pace then to bring a Williams that high up. Rundle unable to set a lap on the inters. P4. Graham was P5, also never set a lap on the inters. And finish up the order in a second. Here we are. Goggy, P6 in the Racing Point. Rapid Winston. Mercedes down in P7. Not amazing for a Mercedes. Atlantis was only able to get P8 in the AlphaTauri. Excuse me, sorry. Joseph in the Ferrari down in P9. And Red Bull, Aaron Ocon, down P10. That is our qualifying order. As now we've just got a 50% race ahead of ourselves here. We'll see if... I believe the weather is going to be starting wet, if I heard correctly, and getting dry in the end, I believe. So we'll see a mix between those two cars. Yep, we do see rain already for the start here.
Rain for the start, but is it rain throughout? That's the question. As we wait for them all to line up on the grid. I believe there might be a bit of sun towards the very end of this race, but for the majority...
Rossi's game crashed. He's going to need an invite.
Okay. But I do believe for the most of this race, it should be a wet race.
As we'll now have the formation lap go underway. I believe everyone's on wets, right? It's wet, yeah, wet weather, not inters. And quick rerun through the order. Polo God, pole, P1. There is no pole point though for this realistic tier though, so that is not a point unfortunately for him. And fastest lap will be for only inside top 10. So Polo God pole, Arthur grabbed P2. F1 driver in the Williams managed to get a P3, which is pretty impressive from him. Rundle down in P4, Graham P5, Goggy P6, Rapid Winston P7, Atlantis P8, Joseph P9, Aaron Ocon P10, Ty's 11th, Pluto 12th, Charlie 13th, V2 14th, Sam Steen down 15th, Rice Cracker in a Mercedes was unable to get out of Q1, down in 16th. Rossi, is he in the session yet? Down in P17, he's ghosted, I don't believe he is yet. Ackenboss 18th, Tom Katori 19th.
Predicted pit strategy. Wets to wets, but I know from the weather that there could be inters and maybe possibly dries at the very end of this Grand Prix. His F1 drivers stormed ahead, pulling back onto his grid slot. Meanwhile, Polo got only going towards the final chicane. I have a feeling this is going to be a very wild race. We do not know yet how the cars will perform, or how they will work with fuel and tyres. But the weather has thrown a spanner right into the mix.
Alright, so we're starting wet. We'll see if it continues out throughout wet or turns dry towards the end or middle. I believe, yeah, still have the light glitch. Oh, I believe Rossi's car is going. Revving up now. And lights out, away we go. Polo with a good start. I believe that was F1 driver with an amazing start. He's going to go down the inside of Polo, got into turn 1.
Ooh.
Polo now the inside of turn 2 is going to keep it ahead. Too wide in many places down in the back. Ice Cracker with an amazing start up into P10. And that's a McLaren. That's Arthur around.
Ooh,
I don't believe anyone collected with him.
He left at least.
That's going to bring out a VSC. No wing on that car. He's going to have to bring it into the pits if he can get it back to there.
I think he left.
Although the VSC... Did he? Yeah, he is ghosted. If possible, try and get him back in so he can at least bring it into the pits and retire, so that just so the AI doesn't cause anything. And now the restart. Polo with an amazing restart, actually. Going already dropped F1 by a second. There is no DRS though, so that does not matter. He goes quite wide into the hairpin. That's going to allow F1 driver to catch back up just a bit, but you can just tell that Williams is struggling a bit. He's keeping a good gap with him though. Got Grain right behind him, as well as Rundle and Rapid Winston. Charlie picking up a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane.
Not what you want at the start of the...
That is... must have got picked up damage, maybe from Arthur, maybe just from someone else.
I believe
Plus speeding in the pit lane, just an insult to injury. Let me check.
Went into the back of someone off the start at the back.
Yeah, he did have a wing change. That is not the start you would like to see for Charlie in the Racing Point. Biggest mover off the start, we have Rice Cracker up to P9, up 7 positions after getting knocked out in Q1. That's a very impressive start from the Mercedes.
F1 driver in the Williams.
I just noticed.
Slowly gaining back from the lap. The
I
time,
also just noticed. Sorry. Pluto up into 7th in the Williams as well. Good start from him as well. Bull's really just trying to storm away with the lead right now. You might see Atlantis on the back of Pluto and the Williams now as well. The gap was really close. It was 2/10 into the chicane. Later braking from Atlantis, nearly into the back of Pluto. And we have Aaron go by V2. Ooh, you see Rossi there, a little oversteer out the exit of turn 2. Turning in late for that turn, nearly hit the back of Aaron Ocon. And Akenboss is actually into the pits. Did he pick up wing damage? Is he missing a left end plate?
I couldn't actually tell. He's back out now though, so...
Back out, yeah. I would assume he did get wing damage then. Otherwise, I don't think he would have pit. But hey, who knows? Not a great start for too many of the drivers. You got Charlie, Akim, and Arthur all have wing damage. Arthur with a big spin. All had a pit. And I don't believe Tom had pit yet. Tom hasn't pit yet. He's just struggling with the Alpha, which, of course, I said before. Just unfortunate that he wasn't in beforehand. And he had to take the Alpha, which, of course, is quite slow for his pace, unfortunately. If he can manage to somehow get a point from this, even if he just keeps his wing clear, a lot of carnage up ahead or something, that would be impressive if he could get the points. And V2 backed by Aaron Ocon. Aaron actually used a ton of ERS that lap. It's down to 30%. V2 up to 80. Ty is a little wobble ahead of V2. Charlie picks up a 3-second after his speeding penalty as well. Not what you like to see for him. And that's Atlantis and Cracker right now fighting. Cracker nearly spins it into the wall, so Atlantis is going to take that position. Aaron picking up a 3-second, trying to keep up with V2.
Now Pluto chasing down Blue Goggy into the hairpin, using his overtake. Is he going to go for it late on the brakes? He does, pushes past.
Around the
Goggy's
outside.
forcing him a bit wide there. Is there a gap
On
for
the
the Williams
grass.
to slot back in? Oh,
Got a better exit. Goggy's leaving him no room, nearly spinning Goggy.
very lucky for both drivers there.
Yeah.
But now is Goggy going to have a go back at him? Down towards the final couple of corners. No, Goggy thinks better of it
Smart
as
to back out.
Charlie
Very
retires and brings out a virtual safety car. I believe
Ooh,
that
that's
was on track.
then, isn't it?
Yeah, he's binned it into the wall in sector 2.
We'll see it in Arthur's car in a second. Right there, yep. Maybe that looks like he either understeered into the wall or maybe nearly spun it out of the right-hander at the chicane, tried to counter steer to the left, and it just spun it into the wall. Already tough start to the mini season for him. This is much more Tier 1 dominant than I expected. From what they were saying from their practice, I wasn't expecting them to do great. Oh, Rice Cracker drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC.
Very unlucky.
Oh, he gained the most positions from the start. Now he's gonna drop back so many. As okay. Okay. Aaron and Rossi both off. Aaron's gonna just take the position off track. Interesting. Right there.
Kimbo's, I think, is crashed.
Second one, yellow flag. Yep, he's out of the race as well. He's got no rear tires. Interesting spin there then.
That does tend to be a problem with these cars.
Yep. Doggy picking up a 3-second. Rise Cracker's gonna bring it into the pits for the drive-through right now. Rossi's actually also gonna bring it into the pits, as well as Sam Steed. I'm wondering if they got damaged. Sam Steed did not. He's putting on the inters as well as Rossi.
Ah, I think it might have slowed on the way.
It does look a lot clearer, but
Is it maybe still a bit
interesting.
early?
I feel like it might be early. I feel like honestly you might, because I feel like it might keep drying, slowing down the rain and drying, and then turn dry soon-ish. So I think it might be a better strategy to go to the wets, just stay on the wets until then. But hey, prove me wrong. Let's see it. Inters for these two. They're gonna be right next to each other as well, so they can slipstream off of each other as well. They might need to work together to catch back up, but we'll see how they do then.
Pluto on the back straight now, chasing down Rapid Winston. Williams versus Mercedes. Tier 1 versus Tier 4. And they both peeled straight off into the pit lane.
Oh. Okay. Everyone's in the pits. P9, P10, P11, P12, all into the pits. Is Rice gonna pit? He will also pit. So everyone's going for inters.
Clearly the truck's going a lot quicker than expected.
I don't know if Tom's in the session either, actually. He's also ghosted.
I don't think he was in from the start.
Ah, okay. So that might be classed as a
Did not start.
DNS, DNR, either works really. Out of the pits, they're going to be racing Rossi and Sam Steed. V2 just ahead of Rossi on the exit. and Aaron and Sam still side by side. Sam's gonna back out before the turn. So we've got a little train. You can see V2, you can see Rossi, Aaron, and Sam, these four. And then ahead of them we got Joseph, Ties, and Rapid Winston. The next train's just the 2 cars of Goggy and Atlantis. And then Pluto 7 seconds back from Rundle. Still P5 and a Williams, so that's pretty impressive, I'd say. He must have gotten a good pit stop then.
Most definitely
Up to
impressive.
5th in them.
Williams
Very,
having a good,
very impressive performance from the
good
Williams,
first
yeah.
round.
Polo setting another fastest lap, so yeah, the Alfa Romeo of Polo looking pretty strong so far. Got pole, he's kept it since. F1 driver started 3rd, Arthur 2nd with the spin, put F1 into 2nd. He's also kept that. But he does have Graham and Rundle both right behind him. You can also see a couple of the Sunday tier drivers cheering on their team, because there is also going to be a combined constructors between the 2 tiers, 12 races total. So they're cheering on the, I see Axe cheering on Pluto in the Williams, F1 driver in the Williams as well. Speaking of, he's gone way wide, but he actually got a pretty good exit, much better exit than Graham and Rundle. So yeah, it's way drier than when we started. Polo gonna set another fastest lap on those inters. Way drier, definitely inter tires. I'm wondering if it turns dry or if it'll stay like this. Rapid Winston picking up a 3-second down in 10th. Pluto taking fastest lap, and Cracker picking up his first 3-second.
Both Mercedes
So,
with penalties.
Fastest lap. Fastest lap taken by a Williams as well. Very impressive performance from these two. Still got Atlantis chasing down Blue Goggy. He's been at it since before the pit stops, really.
Atlantis now chasing down Blue Goggy. AlphaTauri versus Racing Point. Atlantis with a lot of VRS to spare. A lot more than Goggy. In theory should make light work, but as we saw with Pluto, Goggy's not going to go down without a fight.
Polo taking back his fastest lap, as we've just seen. Aaron not gone past Sam Steed. Sam trying to catch back up for an overtake. He's just not going to have enough for it. Oh, Atlantis now on the inside of Goggy. Big contact. Atlantis half spins. Good save as Joseph picks up a 3-second behind them.
Yeah.
And Atlantis has to catch back up all over again.
Lucky 3-second for Joseph. I'm sure he's there. Just in his own little world at the minute. But Rapid Winston is, I believe, might be catching him, so he might have a bit of a fight on his hands in a minute. As I say that, Rapid Winston gets a snap and loses a hell of a lot of time.
Ties, I believe, also got a snap because he didn't gain anything as well, so he must have had a similar snap of oversteer. Actually, V2 is now right next to him. Barely saw that Haas until the last second. Got the ear glitch. Alright, V2 gonna try it down the inside of the hairpin. Ty is now gonna go for a switchback.
Ooh, bit of contact on the wheels.
Little tiny bit of contact.
Greg
Ty's
picks
just
up a
not going to
3
get the
second.
run. V2's going ahead. Rundle with the fastest lap. There it is. Alright, so the pace we were seeing in Q1 and 2 might be coming back for him now. As
Especially
he's down in P3 chasing down F1 driver.
especially if we see a dry part to this race towards the end.
Ooh,
Which
I
I'm
think
fully
Rise
expecting
just
with
cut
the
the
weather.
final chicane there, allowing Sam to go past. Atlantis right on Bulgogi again. Just 0.2 was the gap a second ago. See if he can try something down the back straight. I'm looking at the ERS. Atlantis with about 10% more. We can try something with it. Ooh, Atlantis nearly flew into the back of Goggy there. As he's gonna try and get some overtake. Goggy's also burning his. He must have burned a little bit earlier as well, because he is way lower now. Atlantis picks up a 3-second through that chicane as well. He's now gonna try and use some overtake. Gonna elect to go to the outside.
Doggy again not making it easy for him.
And it looks like Atlantis has it.
Yeah, he
And
has it.
does. Good move from Atlantis. I believe there was a tiny bit of contact which put Goggy a bit wide for the second turn, allowing Atlantis to take an easy pass. Fair contact, of course, but just slight. Not too many gaps have changed otherwise. Still got Rapid about 7/10 behind. V2 about a second behind him, and then Ty's just about 2 seconds behind him. Rapid Winston's actually gaining now. Joseph and Rapid Winston, both with a ton of overtake, both gonna start using. Rapid chooses to save now, as well as Joseph. He burned a bit more before saving, though. Pluto's gonna take another fastest lap. Rapid Winston cutting the final turn in that chicane a bit. Probably a warning for that, as he's 2/10 behind. Cracker now picking up another 3-second. Oh, Rapid Winston late, very late braking, tapped the back of Joseph. Luckily didn't send him spinning or half spin or anything.
V2 catching these two now as well.
Tap might have slowed him down a little bit, allowing V2 to catch up. Not too much action here with the rain. Still an impressive run from Polo. He's actually extended the gap to the F1 driver by almost 5 seconds now. Rundle's gonna take back that fastest lap as well now. Oh, we've actually got ties now within a second to V2. Oh, that's Atlantis and Joseph, both into the pits, as well as ties following. That's a Ferrari double stack.
I'd expect that.
What's he gonna follow? Are they gonna go dries? They are. Atlantis and Joseph put on the hards. Arthur's AI is also gonna put on the hards. Rossi hards. Ties is gonna go mediums. And Sam Steed also coming in. Looks like the hards, yep. Rapid Winston with another 3-second. The rain's very light, but is it fully dry? I don't know. Track does look fairly dry. With this game, it's kind of hard to tell. I think it might just be in the crossover area. V2 is actually going to be able to get by Rapid Winston quite easily as well, too. Very good move from him. And Polo from the lead is going to box. F1 driver following, Rundle following. Graham also going to box. Pluto in. Looks like how it's going to be with the inters. Everyone's just going to pile in, yep. Polo's actually put on the mediums as well as Rundle. And F1 driver. Graham as well. Pluto.
They're trying to run these mediums for 20 laps.
Mediums can go 20 laps. I do know that. I've myself have done that before. I've done best strategy at this track, I believe, is like a soft hard, or you can do a 2-stop of a soft medium medium. What I did was actually a soft medium, but I did take the soft 15 and took the mediums 20 laps. So I know it's possible. They will be pretty much shot. However,
pace advantage might be more appealing.
Yeah, pace advantage. Hards might have actually be a better play if you want fresher tires at the end. Ricecracker's the only one still on inters, and he's struggling a lot. Yeah, he's been passed twice now by Joseph and Blugagi. As Graham's actually by Atlantis as well on the medium compound. I would also like to notice that Polo must not have gotten a good stop, or F1 driver got a great stop, because he's gained about a second and a half from the pit stops. As now Ricecracker losing another position from the wet tires, as those are not turning how he wants it. He's losing one to V2 as well now. Ties is going to catch him now as well. Polo setting a fastest lap on the mediums. I believe it was a 16-1. Ties is easily going to get it on the straight here. Cracker should go into pits. He's got to be careful of Ties, because we don't want to see him just absolutely obliterate that man. And he will go into the pits nice and careful. Rapid Winston picking up a 3 in the final chicane. Cracker going for mediums, I would assume. Oh, he's actually putting on the hards, okay. So he's going to elect for the safer option. So we've got the... Yeah, no problem. Yeah. That's fine, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. So Goggle will not be commentating anymore. He's not feeling too great, so get well soon to him. I will continue on commentating myself. Of course, the gaps have just bugged as well, but Pluto now taking the fastest lap. Graham's going to steal that with a 13.0 on the medium tires. So the mediums are going to be much faster right now, as Graham, if we remember, actually passed Atlantis Sector 2 out of after pitting. He's now 3.5 seconds, a little bit more. It's nearly 4. 4 seconds now, there you go. 4 seconds ahead of Atlantis, so the mediums are going to be way faster here. But we could see that change towards the end when the hards have more life in them. Unless you could see some good tire saving. That's going to be Graham picking up a 3 second through there. Ricecracker another 3. I'm going to check penalties real quick. Here we are. 3 second for Polo and Rundle, 6 for Graham. 3 seconds for Atlantis, Goggy, Joseph, and V2. 14 seconds for Rapid Winston, not what you want to see from him. Polo setting the fastest lap with a 12.8 on the mediums. Aaron with 9 seconds, Sam 3, and Ricecracker 9. So, impressive run from the Williams so far, up in P2 and P4. Very impressive from them. As we have Polo, he's kept the lead after getting pole in the Alfa Romeo. Rundle was the one we said to watch in qualifying. He's up in P3 after a not so amazing qualifying compared to his Q1. Excuse me, Q1 and Q2. Still in P3 though, so very good run from him so far. And I don't believe he's catching F1. He might be catching, but just a very slight amount. It looks like it's saying the same to me though. Aaron picking up another 3 second. I believe that's his. That's 12 seconds for him. Wrong gap. 12 seconds for him then. Yeah, DRS is enabled, so we might see some more action now as well, with Joseph using that to try and close the gap to Goggy just a little bit, and V2 also using that to trail behind him. Ooh, that might have been a little bit of a cut, might have been a warning for V2 right there, as Joseph's actually going to go by Blue Goggy, side by side. Ooh, a lot of contact there. Goggy kind of just sent it down there. Oh, even more contact. That's going to go Goggy loose. That's going to allow V2 to try and go for a double overtake. Goggy's really... he's fighting for these positions, that's for sure. He's not leaving a lot of room. He's nearly spun off of Pluto and now off of Josie. Don't want to point fingers, but I don't really think it's the people who's fighting him's fault for these. Rossi was now able to challenge Joseph after Goggy pushing him quite wide after turn 2. Milo's able to keep, Joseph's able to keep the position though, for now. And that actually put Joseph out of DRS, so we could see Rossi now with the DRS, trying to get by, as well as V2 on Bugagi. Gonna miss Rossi on Joseph. And V2 gets it before the chicane. It has to take a slightly different line, and he gets that, as well as Rossi got Joseph. I think, oh yeah, Rossi got DRS instead of Joseph. That's going to help him pull away just a tiny bit. Cracker with another 3 second. F1 driver penalty free. I believe Polo's only got 3 though. Yeah. So if F1 driver is able to close that at all, just 6 tenths he needs, 6.5 tenths, he can take this win in a Williams. However much these guys complain about how bad the Williams is, they're doing pretty good. As Cracker's going to take a 5 second speeding into the pit lane. What's he doing? He's going to go for mediums. So he's decided not to take these hards to the end, and he's going to go for 2 at the fresh mediums. Oh, he got damage as well. He was changing that wing. So fair enough then. Yeah, Pluto is definitely getting dropped quite a bit, but he is keeping his position to Graham, who's also dropped Atlantis by a lot, so you could see the pace difference. Atlantis was ahead after the pit stops, now pretty much 8 seconds behind. Personally, I think the mediums were the best choice. However, if someone is burning these tires a lot, not great at saving or anything of that sort, you could see a hard runner get a position off of that. Pluto struggling through the chicane. Graham's right on the back of him. He should be able to get him on the straight if he doesn't mess up this hairpin. He could even send it. He chooses not to. He's gonna... oh, Pluto's actually going wide. Graham wanted to slot in that gap, but it was closed pretty quickly by Pluto. And that's actually gonna put Graham 5 tenths back. However, overtaking Gauge, DRS, Pluto's got a lot less overtake to play with. Graham's gonna bring it to the inside, and he's gonna get it way before the chicane. That's Graham up to P4, Pluto now dropped to P5. See if he can keep at least a top 5 from Atlantis on the hards. That was Rossi that's just gotten by Blue Goggy as well. Medium compound, getting more speed on the straights as well as more grip, I believe, for now. And he's already pretty much dropped him out of DRS range. Very impressive from him. I believe Rapid Winston, just got by Ties, or was it Joseph by Rapid Winston, I'm not completely sure. Oh, someone just made contact. I think it was Josie. I don't see any damage on the car. Oh, never mind. He's missing a left end plate. Joseph with damage. No left end plate. That's gonna affect the race a lot. He's actually gonna let Rapid Winston by. And he might let his teammate of Ties by on the DRS straight. I believe if he pits now, trying to do the math, I believe softs can make it, but they'll be extremely dead. It'll be 12 laps on the softs, so it's definitely possible. So he might box for the softs. He is, yeah, he's gonna box. Let's see if he does go softs or if he does goes safe with the mediums. I would assume it's gonna be either of those. Yep, he's gonna go safe with the mediums then. I'm going to check penalties once again, and as I say that, Rapid Winston's actually gonna get a 3-second. I believe that was Pluto just lapping Rice Cracker, so that's top 5 have lapped at least 15th then. And penalties, 3 seconds for Polo, 3 seconds for Rundle. Wait a minute, hold on. I believe... Yeah, there's a trade now for first, pretty much. F1 driver can get this win off of penalties. I believe Rundle must have gotten past him when I didn't see, obviously, but he must have, the F1 driver must have been using that DRS to try and stick with him to catch up the Polo, and now they're both right there. Rice Cracker, now 20 seconds of penalties. F1 driver could get this off of penalties. That would be very impressive. Polo's stayed in the lead since getting pole. F1 driver back to his starting position in third, but he has maintained second for pretty much this whole race. If he can keep this penalty free, I believe he at least will get second, if not first. It's going to be close. That is definite. As pretty much everyone after that, except Graham, has 3 seconds. Graham with 6, Rapid with 17, Sam and Joseph with 6. Aaron with 15, Rice with 20. I see a Go Tom in the chat. Unfortunately, I don't think he's been in this race at all. I'm pretty sure the AI has been driving the whole thing. So, I don't know if he's gonna get much. I think he's already been classed as a DNR, even if he comes back now. Most of the race has been driven by the AI, so I don't believe he'll be being awarded 16th. He'll be dropped back to probably 18th, because I believe Arthur has not. Yeah, Arthur's not here as well. Cracker got another 3 second. Polo and Rundle have to keep it pen free from now on as well, and hope F1 driver does get a penalty. F1 driver's lost a lot to Rundle though, so I think Polo can keep this from F1 driver. However, will he be able to keep Rundle behind? Rundle was a one to watch. Didn't do as well as we thought he would for sure in the wet qualifying of Q3. Now he's come back. Oh? He's gonna pit. Oh no! He's got a 5 for speeding! That's it for Rundle. Oh no. And he put on the mediums. I would have gone softs. Interesting. He's gonna go 9 laps on fresh mediums, but he's also sped. That's pretty much ruined his race. He was on for a win. I think if he stayed out, he had it. Oh man. Well, we'll see if he can come back at all with that. That is terrible for Rundle. But now F1 drivers just out of the 3 seconds to Polo, fighting to get in it. He's nearly there. A little oversteer that might put him back out. Although he did just get in. He's staying in. But he needs to keep that for 9 more laps. A little bit of lockup. Not too bad at all. You can tell the Williams is struggling to keep up with the Alpha, although it's not too much different. Yeah, I believe Rundle did serve the penalty. I will check. No, never mind. He has 8 seconds. That's the 3 second and a 5, so he has not served that. Although we don't have... Oh, F1 driver's pit now. He's going softs. Okay, alright. Interesting. We'll see how the fresh softs can do against the more worn mediums and hards then. He's gonna come out decent margin ahead of Atlantis. Wisecracker another 3 second. I'm wondering if he's close to disqualification. 26 maybe, possibly. Polo, oh no, Polo's picked up another 3 second. That's 6 for him. Graham, however, also with 6. He's also 9 seconds back. I think Polo's in a solid position unless Rundle or F1 driver can catch up and extend their gap. Now with that extra 3, Rundle only needs to lose him by 2 seconds if he catches him, if he's not going to serve the penalty and take a straight 5 at the end, which I imagine he will. F1 driver on the fresh softs. He's not even catching Rundle. Rundle's now going to go, but oh, never mind. Graham and Pluto are going to pit. That's going to put Rundle up to second. 13 seconds back to Polo. Fresh softs for both of the people who just pit, Graham and Pluto. They're going to come out. I think they're going to be racing Rossi into turn 2. Graham's going to be ahead. Pluto's just going to be ahead, barely. So, with these fresh mediums against the more worn mediums, Rundle's going to try and chase down 12 seconds to Polo, and then he also has to extend the gap 2 seconds. Either those mediums weren't going to make it, or they just wanted to try and get some fresh tires, fresh compound, faster compound for the end here. Rundle's definitely closing this gap. Will it be enough, though? I think he might be able to catch up to Polo. The question is, will he be able to pass and extend 2 seconds to him? I would say he has a good chance, honestly. The fresh tire is definitely blowing Polo out of the water here. And I think F1 is also catching him. Maybe not as much, but I believe he's also catching. F1 doesn't need to fully catch Polo. He just needs to be within 6 seconds of him, as he has kept it penalty free so far, which is quite impressive, especially in the Williams, not having any understeer or oversteer into a turn or anything. Yeah, Polo, I have a feeling Polo is definitely going to try and go on the end on these mediums. I don't know if it's going to work for him, as we got, yep, Graham's going to go by the fresh softs compared to the worn hards on his teammate once again. Chasing down F1 driver and seeing if he can also catch Rundle and Polo as well, or dropping F1 enough if he can as well with the penalty. I believe... yeah, F1 driver's the only one to have it go pen-free so far. Quite impressive from him. Rundle's closed the gap a lot. It's only been 1 lap. It's now 8.4. You can see him ahead. I think that might be a lap car, actually. Yeah, it is. So, can't see him just yet. Never mind. Doggy picking up another 3 second down in P8. I'm going to check penalties once again, see if we have any other battles we should watch other than this fight for the lead. Oh, that's Tom Katori. He might be able to actually take a DRS off for that to help him even just a little bit more as well. But he might pass it too quick. Looks like he's probably going to get it in the hairpin or maybe even before, yeah. So, We know the situation for the penalties up front. We've got F1 with none, Polo with 6, and Rundle with 8. Behind them, we've got Graham with 6, Atlantis with 3, Pluto, Rossi also 3, Gagi with 6. So we could see battle. Actually, we actually have that right now. Pluto and Atlantis, even on penalties. So whoever gets the position, really. And behind that, we have Ty's only 3 seconds compared to the 23 seconds of Rapid Winston. So he should be able to get that even if he doesn't pass him on track. B2 3 seconds. Joseph and Sam 6. And behind that, I would say probably don't have to worry as Aaron picks up another 3 even. So we have this battle and the battle for the lead pretty much, I'd say. Pluto and Atlantis fighting for a top 5. Pluto right on the gearbox, actually tapping the back of that car a little bit. I don't believe... It shouldn't be enough of a tap for damage. I should also look at the ERS. Pluto with about 20% more. So he's also got DRS on the straight. So if he can maybe pass with the DRS and use the ERS to make up for the performance difference, that could be a good play by him. He's going to tap the overtake. Wait for the DRS. Press the overtake again, use the DRS, he's going to use both to get past instead. Atlantis defending with what's left of his overtake. They're going to go side by side. Pluto's going to go ahead before the chicane. Sam Steed with another 3 second. Rundle now just above 3 seconds of Polo. He's got 3 more laps. 3 more laps to take the position and then extend it by 2 seconds. Polo's going to have DRS for probably a little bit, maybe a decent amount of time as well, if he can stick behind Rundle on one of the straights or anything. Which, of course, will not help Rundle. F1 drivers actually dropped back a lot. I don't know if he's getting any position on this penalties, even though he's kept it penalty-free. Graham's actually right on the back of him as well, though. Graham does have 6 seconds, so he's going to have to pass and extend by 6 seconds. So F1 drivers, no pens, may at least help him with this. Pluto on the fresh softs, much faster than Atlantis on the older hards. So I believe Pluto's got that position mostly on a lockdown. Aaron Ocon sets a fastest lap with 10.6. Can Polo defend when Rundle catches up? He can defend. It is for position. It's fair defending. As long as he doesn't do anything absolutely ridiculous. Pretty much what you would just see during a normal battle for position is allowed for this. Does F1 have damage? That could be why it's not gained. He's missing the right end plate. There you go. That might be why. Oh, can he defend based on what's left of his tires? Probably not. I mean, clearly not. He's also got no overtake at all. Rundle's got 20%. He also took the DRS. Wow. Okay, that's very ideal for Rundle. He got 2 laps to extend 2 seconds. As Graham's also going to get by F1 driver. F1 driver's just got to stay within 6 seconds, which I imagine he should be able to. Graham got the DRS off of Arthur or F1 driver. I would assume off F1 driver, actually, considering how he didn't get any. Rundle's already extended a second. Oh, Rice Crackers been disqualified for receiving too many penalties. Unlucky. Rundle 1.5 ahead. He's still got an extra lap to keep the 2 seconds. I believe he's just got it. Polo's tires are shot. He's got no ERS. Rundle's still got around 20% to use on this back straight. And F1 driver staying just within a second as well of Graham. I don't believe Graham can get the 6-second extension he was looking for a podium. Although, who knows, something could happen. F1 driver, of course, missing the right end plate. That's never going to help him. Actually, we've got V2 going by Blue Goggy, which I believe Blue Goggy's got too many pens. Yeah, so V2 would have had that off pens either way. However, he's got that on track now to secure it for sure, even if he gets another penalty. So there you go. Rundle's already extended 3 seconds to Polo. Polo's got to get back within 2 seconds to get the win. Although Rundle, Tier 3 champion, we saw in the regular season. In the Renault today, Polo, who I believe this is his first race since joining back in ARL. He's done quite well. After getting a pole, holding it all the way until just a lap or two ago. Rundle taking it away from him and possibly taking away the win unless something awful happens. As they come to the line now for the final time through the chicane. Rundle takes it nice and easy. Careful of the wall of champions, and he's gonna cross the line for the first ever race win in the realistic tier. Polo following up with second. Graham's gonna take third. F1 will take that back off of penalties. Yep, F1 driver securing the podium position. P3 for Williams. Graham coming in fourth. Pluto in fifth. Atlantis is gonna come across for sixth. Rossi picked up another 3 second. That's gonna put him in seventh. Ties now holding off Rapid Winston. Rapid's got way too many penalties though, so Ties has got this. P8. Rapid's gonna lose it to V2, I believe, as well. I believe, yeah, V2 is gonna come in ninth. Rapid Winston's gonna secure 10th. Actually, wait, Goggy might be able to take that. It's gonna be close. And Goggy's gonna take the final points position from Rapid Winston. And Joseph, final finisher, P12, across the line. And that is all. Driver of the day, I believe it goes to Pluto, right? He started quite far back in the Oh, it's actually going to Rossi. Where did he start? I think he went out of Q1, didn't he? And he came what was it, P6 or 7? So, actually deserved, yeah. Pluto, although, in the Williams, went from, I think it was P12, P13, up to P5. So that's also impressive from the Williams driver. Why is it raining in the background? Interesting. So yeah, Rundle taking the first race win. Polo taking a P2. And F1 driver rounding out the podium finishers. Graham unfortunately wasn't able to extend the gap enough to F1 driver. Going to take P4, Pluto P5, starting P12. Very impressive drive for the Williams driver. Atlantis P6, Ties P7. There you go, Rossi P17 to P8 in the Renault. V2, also from quite far back in the P14 in the Haas up to P9. Another impressive drive. Blue Goggy in the Racing Point, going to take Racing Point's only point today from a P10 position. Joseph just short of a point, P11. Rapid Winston P12. Aaron 13. Sam Steed 14th, and then the rest are DNFs, DNRs. So I don't know the exact order. I believe it would be Akim, Charlie, Ryest, and then Arthur and Tom. Very well done from honorable mentions. I'm going to give to Pluto for sure, and Rossi does deserve that driver of the day. Also V2, impressive drive from P14. Definitely those three deserve, and I'll ask the top three if they want to do interviews. I'm awful at interviews, so if not, I definitely do not mind. Wait, why am I being called a fraud? What'd I do? What did I do? Oh no. Yeah, we'll do a podium interview for at least Polo. Once we get back in the lobby, I'll invite them. Alright, so we have Rundle coming P1. I'll invite him first. And then we had Polo and F1 driver. Alright. Hello, hello. Alright, we've got
I'll try
all
not to
three
swear
in the
this time.
party.
I'll try not to swear this time.
Alright, we'll start with P3, F1 driver in the Williams. You started P3, finished in P3. Good, solid performance. What was the key to bring the Williams all the way up to P3 from the start to finish? I'm sure LMG and Arax are gonna want to know for tomorrow.
Just make sure you've got some front downforce, because the thing drives like a boat. Or not.
Right.
It's a boat. But it is really stable for what it is. And just you have to get a bit lucky as well with weather. It's a lot quicker in the wet than it is the dry, to say the least.
I was able to notice that for sure.
So yeah, just can't believe myself, to be honest.
You had wing damage at the end, I noticed. How much did that... When did you get that? Because I never noticed it until
About
late.
lap 29, I think it was, 30. I whacked the front wing on the Wall of Champions.
Of course.
I'm not a champion, but oh well. It hampered me quite a bit, but it was nice not having penalties, because that really came into factor at the end. So, yeah.
Yeah, you were able to... Although Graham got by, you were able to get that back off of penalties. I think you honestly could have, off of penalties, challenged for second, maybe even the win until the wing damage, because that's how I noticed you had lost a lot. So very good drive from you in P3 with the Williams. Congratulations, yeah.
Thank you.
Polo. Hello. How are you?
Hello.
P2's not bad. Unfortunately, we weren't able to keep the win from pole position the whole race, pretty much. Unfortunately. Do you wish you pit when everyone else did, or do you think that was still the better idea to stay out?
Look, the reason why I stayed out is, I guess, since I had the gap, I thought maybe I would be able to stay ahead of Rundle barely by the end, but my tires were absolutely done out by the end. This is the third time this has happened now, where I've lost the win. The first time was just... I just had awful pace, my tires just died, it wasn't really much fault. China last season in Tier 1, we had that iconic interview moment after the race where I called my race engineer that, and now I'm actually so annoyed. This, like, I'm actually cursed from winning in this league. Whether it's Tier 1 or realistic, I can't win.
Do you have a win yet, or?
Nope, I haven't won an ARL yet.
Oh my gosh. Was this your first race back as well, since
that's my
rejoining
first.
as
Yeah,
well?
that's my first race back.
Right,
so
pretty
lovely
impressive
surprise.
race in the Alfa Romeo, yeah.
Yeah.
Pole position in the wet. How do you think the Alpha was also better in the wet, or was it just kind of similar to the dry?
It was I literally call the car a boat, and it's literally a boat. It's amazing in the wet. It was so good.
So slower
Yeah.
cars better in the wet apparently. Then
Yep.
hope for rain tomorrow. All the tier 1 drivers then.
Yeah. So I guess this is probably the most happy I've been losing the win, because at least I was in a pretty compromised car compared to Rundle, who was in the Renault.
You have a fair excuse, I'd say.
Yeah. At least it wasn't
P2
VRT
with a
Lily.
solid drive. P2 with a solid drive. Congratulations, Polo. And just got Rundle with the race win. I believe you started down in, what was it, P4 or 5?
P4, yeah.
Yeah. You struggled a bit in the wet qualifying, I noticed. Mainly because you didn't get to set an interlap, I believe, but still managed to get a P4 after pretty much topping, or at least close to topping, Q1 and Q2. You think there was anything wrong in Q3, or was it just kind of unlucky?
Yeah, so I basically just focused on dry. So I made a totally dry setup. And
Okay.
I basically gambled on the fact that the weather would dissipate, in the first half. And it did. And it paid off. So I had a really fast car at the end. Obviously I was in the Renault, which gives me a nice advantage over these guys. But they did a really remarkable job in back marker cars. So yeah, it was great racing them. Really enjoyed it.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, you were definitely, me and Goggle, unfortunately he had to go earlier. We said you were definitely the one to watch, Tier 3 champion in a kind of like a mid-paced car. Unfortunately, this just wasn't able to get you in a bit of a slower car, so you might be a bit faster than quite a few of these guys, obviously. But, yeah, any, like... Damn, I'm running out of questions. Alright, anything strategy-wise, maybe, that you think helped you, or just the faster car, fresher tires at the end, maybe?
Yeah,
Dry setup?
I went for the undercut when I saw that Polo stayed out. I didn't expect him to stay out all the way to the end, so making up 18 seconds was good fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was a challenge. It didn't help that I sped in the pit lane by 1 mile an hour. That gave me a 5-second
Yeah, I thought
penalty.
that cost you.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
I thought that cost you.
And then I saw F1 driver on the softs. I swore to God if he caught me on the softs, but by 5
I think
seconds.
he was,
But yeah.
I don't think he was catching you, but I think he was staying similar pace, which may have caused him to catch Polo until he got the wing damage, which is when I noticed the huge drop off, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, it was a really good
Yeah.
race. I think this format works really well. You saw in qualifying how
good to
close
hear.
it was. In Q2,
Yeah, it was very close.
I think 15 drivers separated by 8/10 or something. So, and considering we've got tier 1 down to tier 4, it's so close. So, really enjoyed it. Great challenge, and yeah, that's all I've got to say.
Yeah, so there you go, Rundle with the race win. Congratulations on that. First ever realistic race done and dusted now. I'm excited to see more of this as well. Commentating the Saturday tier pretty much every week, I believe, unless something comes up. Me and Goggle. Tomorrow we've got the Sunday tier for realistic. We've got a bunch of new, different drivers than we've seen today. Maybe a couple repeats, reserves, and I think Graham's actually full-time for Sunday. Yep, see you then. Goodbye.